All right. Getting everybody on in here. In the meantime, uh,
We like,
let
man.
everybody
Like.
go for it. What are you saying?
I said this is what we like. There's nothing better than coming on here after a match when it's that dominant, that convincing, and we get to talk to the Milan community, man. It's just, I love it. This is just, it's amazing.
Anthony's right here on YouTube as always. First in. Thank you, Anthony.
Anthony, thank you so much, man.
Appreciate you always supporting on literally every platform. It's insane. You're great. It's just really great to see this type of performance. I was actually, funnily enough, I was confident coming into this one, and it finally had the performance reflective of that. You were as well. No goal conceded. You thought Atalanta would have done more in this one. They simply couldn't, and it was telling because if you go by XG, if you go by the eye test, if you go by any other metric during this match, Atalanta had absolutely no chance of scoring.
Nothing.
And they couldn't break down the midfield. Offensively, Milan left a few goals on the table as well. This could have easily been 3-4-0. Mike Magnan's return is going to have to wait because he wasn't needed today. That's how good they were. That's how good they were.
That was the perfect type of performance you want to have, right? And a guy who's shaking off the cobwebs, a lot of rust that you would come off from being so many times out. But I know you talked about it, or you asked me yesterday, Martino, how any concerns about the time off, and I was like, nope, I don't have any concerns. I mean, we didn't have to call a game today, which was good, but to give him a nice, cushy, cozy, like a couple just catch the ball, kick the ball around. It was like an exhibition type match for him, and that's a credit to the defense and the organization. You have to credit Pioli. I know everyone has been coming at him in recent weeks, and rightfully so, but you also have to give credit when credit's due. And the fact that we're able to have such great organization defensively, you have Magnon back there to hold a team that scores at will like they do and that creates chances like they do in such volume and such ease, to hold them to no shots on goal, that's impressive. And to do it at home is a great gift to the fans, because the fans have been with this team. They're always with this team, but more so through this difficult period, backing the players, backing the coach. And we got over that hump. 4 straight clean sheets. We're flying right now. We're back where we need to be. We're getting Benacer back. Let's roll.
So Krunic and Rafael Leao will be suspended for the Fiorentina match. Probably a blessing in disguise, like some people mentioned, for Leao. He gets that rest for the second leg against Spurs. That assist right at the end of the match was perfect. He had a couple of opportunities to score today. Unfortunately, did not. Those inconsistency issues still persist. But at the same time, you see why he was the league MVP. If he can't score, he's still creating the best chances on the pitch. Good job by Brahim Diaz. Sandro Tonali had much better second halves than they did first halves. Brahim finally still way too inconsistent on the counterattacks, but him and Tonali's link up on that one where Mala just came in to interject really on that Rafael Leao potential tap in. Really strong build-up play from them. CDK off the bench. We saw Zlatan return. I have the Zlatan jersey on. I put it on right as he got subbed on. I'll say CDK, fine outside of what are you doing with the hesitancy on the edge of the box where he could have crossed it in, take on a play with dribbling. Just it's still there. And that's why you're going to continue to see these 20-minute performances of his. But
yeah, I think also on that note, too,
Avibra and Zlatan's presence, that's hilarious.
Well, there's and we talked about this, right? There's for all the outrage that we've had, why isn't CK playing from the start? Why is Brahim playing? Look, Brahim is very hot and cold. He has moments throughout a match where you're like, you're shaking your head. You're like, why isn't this guy releasing the pass earlier? Why isn't he making the simple ball here? He's terrible on counterattacks. He doesn't make the right decision. And then he has moments where he has like the back heel, and then second half he kind of comes to life. And when you kind of combine that with the fact that CDK hasn't launched yet, he's making the decision for Pioli very simple. But he ain't a world beater right now. He ain't putting 8, 9, 10 out of 10 performances, but he's putting in pretty steady enough shifts where this isn't even a contest for Pioli to make this decision. From go forward, unless CDK is improving, it's going to be Raheem for a good 70 to 75, and it's going to be CDK finishing the game out. So CDK has to start showing more. I understand that it's more difficult to fall into a game when it's 15 minutes left and you're up 1-0 and the approach shifts towards a more defensive one. But Milan were still trying to take their chances going forward. And when he gets into those positions, like you just said in the final third, get that ball into the box. You have guys available. You have Ibrahimovic, who's a big presence. You have guys that can latch on and at least put the ball on frame to test Musso. But credit to Leao. That was a great assist and a beautiful run by Macias. Look, we give Macias a lot of crap. We know what he is. We know what he isn't. We know he's not this world-class winger. But more times than not, when he does play, he has these little moments where he does something. He has back-to-back goals. He had the winner against Monza, a great goal. This is another great run and a great finish over a really good goalkeeper, in my opinion. Musso made some key saves in this match. So we have to give credit to a lot of different players in this match, but I'm sure we'll go through it and maybe we can give some more overall player ratings if you want.
Yeah, so man of the match stuff. We don't have the graphics that we used to, so we apologize. This is just really us just running with this stuff. Yeah, I mean, we could just like mention this stuff here. And then again, follow us on Twitter if you haven't already. Follow us on YouTube. Please like the YouTube video if you are on YouTube right now. Subscribe if you have not already. Follow us on Twitch if you have not. Follow me, AC Milan Bros. Follow them on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Still a bunch of stuff to do with that. Mike Maignan being back, just this is kind of what I want to talk about. And I mentioned this on Spaces. The overall comfortability with this squad with him is totally different. See how better they press as a unit when they have him, because they don't have to worry about, is it okay to pass back in this situation? Like, defenders aren't second guessing themselves. I mean, they're putting in shifts that are fantastic, maybe a little shaky on conceding some corners, but even then set piece defense was phenomenal. 0 threats. Just really something. A night and day performance. We've conceded once in the past 5 matches. That was in the derby to Inter. They flipped the switch. It had to do with a formation change in which everybody was calling for and players to be put into a system that they can play well in. So don't give me this. We're giving all the praises to Mister, because he's doing his job.
Everyone's been saying it too. I think it's been kind of obvious, right? What the changes should have been made. And Malik Chow, right, Anthony? Like there's this is impressive. I know it's only a small handful of games. I get that. And players go through moments, young players go through moments, and I'm sure Malik Chow is going to have moments the rest of the season where, maybe he struggles a little bit and he's not as sharp as he is now. But I think there's a real impressive player on our hands, and at a really good price. I think it was $5 million plus $2 million in bonuses, something very inexpensive relative to what type of quality and potential he has, and the fact that he fills a really big need for us in the back. Malik Chow, he was the best central defender for us today, and that's no discredit to Kalulu or Tomori because they were very good. It's just Malik Chow. I mean, he's leaning into these challenges. He's closing down space. He's great in the air. Everything we've seen from him since he came to become a starter, it's clockwork. This guy knows where he needs to be. He seems very experienced for his age, despite him only having a couple of appearances and him being 21 years old. I mean, this is a great find once again, and Milan taking advantage of Schalke's situation. Sorry, Richard. I know he's probably not even in here. Richard Carmen, he's a big Schalke fan as well. But a really great find for Milan, and this is a really balanced, dynamic, and athletic, more importantly, in my opinion, because I think athleticism is sometimes forgotten in these sorts of conversations. We have 3 good athletes back there, and they all offer a little bit of different qualities, right? So I tip the cap to the defense. We're leaning on this defense right now. I know that we won 2-0, but the 2-0 score line still doesn't really tell the full picture because we were very inefficient and wasteful in front of goal. And right now our defense is the strongest crutch we have. So with Benacer coming back, hopefully we're a little bit sharper going forward. And I think this is where Milan can really take off and start to really cement the top 4 position.
I think they're already starting to do that today, and we didn't even mention how Inter dropped 3 points this morning.
Yeah, that's huge.
They drop against Bologna, who isn't the strongest of sides. It's just truly impressive to see this run of form. And again, what was working with Milan even during the rough stretches was that these teams were dropping points.
Yeah.
They're gaining them now. There's a 6-point advantage on Atalanta at the moment. Lazio, Roma still have to play. We'll see what happens. These are all the games for today. There's Monday and Tuesday matches. Juve, whatever. Like, they probably would have in general gotten back into it, but we don't know. It's a totally bizarre situation. So for me, I think this sets up nicely. Unfortunately, no Leao yet again for this one. He's missed a couple of big matches this season now. He's missed Napoli, and now he's going to miss Fiorentina on the road. Fiorentina, fluctuating form, doing their job in the Conference League, really subpar in Serie A. I think Milan's going to do a good job. The thing now is just the overall calmness of this defense, that you don't really worry too much every single match you go into, because you know they're barely putting a foot wrong. They all trust each other. That chemistry really came together very quickly.
It's like the end of last year, right? And not to cut you off, Martino, but end of last year, we there he is. I can't jump him in my chair, but yeah, no, I think last year down the stretch, right? We didn't have many lopsided, like, goal scoring results where we're trouncing the other team on way to a title, besides the last one against Sassuolo, right? But we had a lot of tight 1-0, 2-1 games where we had to be very, very good and strong defensively, and we were. So it feels like we're in that sort of zone a little bit earlier in the season as opposed to what we were last year. We're down the stretch. That defense was locked down. No one was scoring on us. Now we're having to pull out results the way we can, and that's with a really strong defensive performance. And we talked about Magnon, we talked about Benacer, but Tomori coming back, right? The speed, the closing down of space, he offers a lot on that side as well. He had some really good moments here too. So it's again a positive moment, and you can see Malik Chow, right? Like, every single team that I've seen from the Milan the past couple seasons, it's always had that one player that arrives and that really makes an impact at maybe the most unexpected part of the season. And it's Malik Chow. Who would have thought Milan are reeling? They can't stop conceding goals. Let's put a 21-year-old in there who's very inexperienced and new to this league, and he's going to be the key, or at least one of the key reasons we stop the bleeding and we go on a run where we're having four straight clean sheets and only conceding 1 in 5 matches. This is Malik Chow. This is the type of impact signing we've made here.
If you just judge solely on the performances in games in which they played in, he's been the best defender this season. Yeah. He's been the best defender. Like, there's no debating.
If you're excluding like the sample size aspect of it, in this 4 or 5 game window, we've been so convincing and so strong. And yeah, I agree with you. He's been everything we could have wanted in this spot, and I don't think we maybe expected him to come on this strong so soon. But credit to him.
Keep expanding on those thoughts on him, and I'll try and bring up a couple of the questions as well.
Yeah, sure.
Just keep on doing that. The CDK and Diaz start potentially. Maybe answer this.
Yeah. So CDK Diaz start potentially. I think it's possible. I think it's a pretty decent look. And that was something that was kind of crossing my mind as I saw Leao get the yellow, and as I was pondering, well, what type of setup are we going to have? I'm just glancing over to some highlights of other Serie A matches, so don't mind me. I think look, CDK is a player that he can play forward. When he arrived to the team, everyone was talking about what's his preferred position. Is he more of a central player? Is he more of a wide player? Is he more of a number 10? I think he's a player that in general is pretty. I know he struggled, but he's pretty flexible. So could you not go with Brahim, CDK as the two players that support the striker? I think you can. I think that would help CDK get more opportunity to score goals. I think we'll get a little bit more look in that game. And maybe that's the game where he gets the goal, right? I think there's something about it where if it's Leao is not on the field and you have a lot of other guys that might be out or might not be available for the match, why not CDK? Why not give CDK the 90 minutes or the start at least? And if he's not up for it,
but RJ Benacer might be back in time, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Even that he's not getting 90 considering the Spurs match. I mean, it all depends. You could see
Brahim is starting though. We all
Bakayoko.
know that. I think it's going to be Brahim, Rebic, and Giroud if I had to guess, but who knows?
I
We have
could
a full
see
week off.
Origi.
We have
I
a
could
full week
see
off.
Origi outside. We'll see what happens. They have a full week
Yeah.
to prepare. There isn't too much to really discuss. Maybe like another 10 minutes here, real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Top three
think
from the match.
say again.
Who was your top three performers in the match?
Rafael Leao. It's hard to pick a defender. I guess you just pick all three in there. Put all three in there. Really, more so Kalulu and Chow. I thought Tomori was solid. Just really those three. I mean, kudos again to Macias, but
Yeah.
it's I personally believe that he should have a negated performance because that one miss was egregious. It was horrendous. That was he hit it with his weak foot and he couldn't even get it on goal. That's just like not possible. I'm sorry.
But everyone's doing it. So and if our standards, listen, our standards for Macias are low, right? We're not expecting this guy to be a world beater. We know what he is. We know what he isn't. He's not a long-term solution here. He's not a guy that is a consistent producer of goals and assists. But if you want to make a case, he made up for a bad miss with a very impressive goal. When you have other guys like Rafael Leao, who had some very clear looks, still shoots over the bar and into the stands. Giroud had some very clear looks. I don't know if the Brahim backheel to Giroud would have been ruled offside or not. I'm not quite sure. I didn't get.
I think it was just they were just on the same level. Yeah.
But other players have been missing chances. So I understand where you're coming from. Like he missed a pretty clear chance to put it to bed earlier.
Well, yeah, I was saying it as well. I literally tweeted, "This team is so infuriating in front of goal. It's just not him."
It was like the Salernitana game.
You
had so many chances to score.
Nah, nothing will ever be worse than the Spal match on the restart.
Oh yeah. That was during the pandemic, right? The pandemic restart.
At least 30 shots on goals.
It was a game of FIFA.
Who was the guy who was it Flokeri?
Yeah, he scored a wonder goal, right?
It was like the most ridiculous.
Like top shelf, top bins, I agree. But my top three, I think, would have to be Malik Chow, I would say Kalulu, and I would probably have to say Teo. I thought Teo was very good today.
Honestly, listen, I understand on a definition level that's an own goal. But come on. I don't know.
I've seen more blatant own goals where it's like, oh, that's clearly like deflected off him and it redirects the shot.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
it's hitting off his back going in. It's not like the goalkeeper deliberately
hit
off his back.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just an inconsistent ruling because, like you were saying, you see deflections where it clearly hits off a player, and if it doesn't do that, that's not going in. That's more of an own goal, if anything. But they don't rule that an own goal. But a guy who was late to the play, and then it hits off of his back and then goes in. It's just crazy. FM and Dre say Krunic.
Krunic is good too. Krunic is one of those sleeper players in a team. He'll never be the best player on the pitch at any given moment. He'll probably never be the worst. I know he is, you could make a case that, him amongst Benacer Tonali, he's obviously not on that level. But I think he's a player that he always puts in a pretty decent to above average shift for the most part. That's kind of what you would get. And I think in a match like this, he was pretty much a quiet, steady performance. And I thought Tonali wasn't even that bad either. I don't know why people have been getting on Tonali. I thought Tonali was pretty good. I know he had some passes that he should have made. I know there was one where Milan were looking to get on the break and Leao was calling for the ball and he had space and in behind him to play. But Tonali held onto the ball, switched fields, and then they ramped it up. And I think they actually did create a pretty decent chance out of it. So you can't really blame Tonali. But other than that, I think, Tonali and Krunic were fine in the midfield. I think this is one of the more better midfield performances we've seen in recent weeks. I think the midfield has been a weakness for us at the beginning of this year. But I think hopefully we're starting to kind of round into good form. More importantly than anything else and any individual player, there was a lot of pace and tempo and like liveliness to the way we played today. I don't know if it was the jerseys and we were feeling ourselves with the cool jerseys on, but when
opposite of last year's jersey.
When I saw the first 20 minutes of this match, and obviously the whole match we played very strong and we were very convincing, the first 20 minutes, I felt like I was like, okay, Milan are really in this game. Like the way they were holding possession, the way they're moving the ball around, the way they're looking to get men forward
Trying
to
to zoom
create
in.
chances. We looked like we were like, okay, we're in this game. Like let's bring it to Atalanta. We're not going to play a more conservative game. We have a good defense. We have Manon back in net. We have our guys we need up top going forward. We have some players coming back. Let's be assertive here. Let's be aggressive. Let's get on the front foot and let's put our stamp on this game. And that's what they did from the onset. So yeah, a credit to the collective performance. There really wasn't a player that I thought had like an absolute dud.
No,
We had misses, of course, and we were wasteful. But I think Giroud did some things well in the hold up. He was a pivotal part, and he does that really well. But we just need to be a little bit more sharp in front of goal. I think if we're able to do that, there's very few teams in Serie A that can, I think, beat us on our day. We're just not. We're not right now. We're not efficient in front of goal. I don't have the shots on goal numbers in front of me.
XG stuff, I can get you XG stuff.
But I'm
XG, we
assuming it was
had
high. Like it wasn't even close.
Well, I mean, there was
Atalanta didn't have a chance.
Well, they didn't. They had a shot off target. It was 3 total shots. None of them were on target. We had 7 shots. 3 were on. We had an XG of 1.8. So really, we did hit our XG there if you round up. Again, just want to give some love to Scout 7 Calcio. If you guys haven't followed him already, it's really hard to zoom in on this shit.
Like, yeah.
It's just, I don't know what you fucking want from me at this point. It just doesn't.
When we had the graphics turned out by Ahmed, which, by the way, on Milan Reports, shout out to Ahmed. He's not obviously not in here, but he's actually doing. I was told he's actually doing graphics for Lecce on their, I think, Instagram, like the official Lecce account. Like he's doing like their team graphics and lineup graphics and all that stuff. So big shout out to him. He does a phenomenal job, and he was obviously like crucial to the show we had at Milan Reports with regards to like team sheets and transfer new graphics and all that stuff. So just want to give him a little homage there.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to get it right there, but shout out to him. That's incredible, actually. Just really happy for him. He's a great guy, and his work was just awesome as well. Maybe we can. No, it's not zooming to fit. Maybe let me know what you guys think if I present it right now and see how it looks. I just want to. No, wait. Yeah, that is. That's supposed to be the screenshot. I'm just having a little bit of difficulty with this. The overlay. It's not working. Well, unfortunately, I don't know why it's not. But anyways, it was just Milik Chow's performance. It was 5 clearances, 4 tackles, wasn't dribbled past a single time, 48 touches in the match, 90% accurate passes. So 5 out of the 6 ground duels won. He won half of his aerial duels as well. So everything about Milik Chow today, just really impressive. And, just his level of growth has just been insane in a short period of time. It's really something to behold. And this run by Milan has been as well. To be honest with you, I'm very happy with the way everything's been going. I don't think there isn't too much left to say here. We really appreciate all the support you guys have had. I know we've gotten some nice feedback on everything. We're trying to do pre-match and post-match stuff. We're trying to get on guests as well. Sabrina, I know we talked this weekend was just a little bit much. Appreciate you coming in as always. We'll get you in for Fiorentina if you want to agree to that. Omar, I can't repeat that, bro. I can't repeat that.
I don't. Tell me off air.
You could just see if you follow on the Twitch. Please, if you haven't followed us on Twitch already, please feel free to do so. If you have Twitch Prime from Amazon, Sabrina's in, so confirming Sabrina for after Fiorentina. Again, if you have a Twitch Prime account, you have a free sub. Feel free to send that on over. It's great for us. It really helps us. State of Play, yes, Cristiano Oliveira as well. We have an episode dropping tomorrow. Hopefully, it just needs to be edited. So we're just very excited about that. Other than that, like the YouTube video, subscribe. Matt, just plug a couple more things for yourself here.
Yeah. You guys can see in the bottom banner. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Matt_Santangelo. I'm doing a lot of other fantasy articles. I don't know if you guys have been following. I know Martino, we've talked about this, but I'm doing some fantasy round previews for Serie A Fantasy. All that information, obviously, I share on my Twitter, so make sure to follow there. But Football Italia, Serie Fantasy, some occasional Sirius XM and Talk Sport appearances. So I'm all over the place, but anything I'm working on, any guest appearances, any content me and Martino were cooking up, that'll be on my Twitter. But yeah, just want to echo the same sentiments that Martino put out there. Thank you to everybody who's left comments, likes, subscribe, Twitch subscriptions. Martino knows that stuff better. That's his lane. He knows that better than I do. All I know is it's good, positive stuff, and it helps for the growth of what we're trying to do here, which is very, very important. Of course, engaging with you guys, the Milan fan community is, this is my mushy moment. But this is like I genuinely enjoy talking to you guys. This is such a good community. You guys are super supportive, and matches like this and moments like this where we can kind of rally together and enjoy these results together. It's a beautiful thing. So thank you guys so much for the support. And yeah, I'll let Martino, I guess, maybe take it out if he wants.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we got 15 live viewers. Well, we did on Twitch. A couple of them left. Again, shout out to Dre and Mango's first time dropping in on here. Hopefully Anthony, you guys gave us the follow. Anthony is always on YouTube. There was Sabrina as well. We saw Omar. Thank you, Omar.
I know he wanted to.
Farino probably popped in on YouTube. I didn't see any YouTube comments from him unless you had a different name, Farino, and you were just fucking.
No, he
or your FM. I know he tweeted at us. I'm saying if he joined in, I gave him the link.
Yeah.
He has the link. Yeah, I gave him the link.
Cool.
Yeah. Krunic, FM, it could have been Farino there. Caliber, appreciate you. Just want to get everybody's name real quick. Enrico Italia, thank you. And then, yeah, that's pretty, and Florin as well. Honestly, genuinely appreciated by everybody. Again, if you love Milan, you love Milan conversations, you love podcasts about Milan, just follow us, subscribe here. Hopefully, if we get more, invested into this, we hopefully try to go audio version as well, just in case you do miss the stuff. But it's fun to go live and do this. We did it a bunch 2 seasons ago. Unfortunately, jobs and schedules changed everything up for last season. We're back again, but this is essentially year 7 at this point, which is insane considering how long ago it really was when we left college. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Keep on the lookout for something come next week with just times for stuff. Matt is just going to be very busy. I'll see what my schedule is like. But again, plan is Fiorentina preview show. If not, it's going to be pre-recorded. Always look out for YouTube. If stuff is pre-recorded and not live, it is on YouTube. As always, that's where. Say again.
Saturday 2:45 game, so maybe we can do like an early morning.
I knew FM was you,
Friday. Or maybe we can do a Friday like evening.
Well, we got to figure it out because of the potential guests we wanted. So we'll just talk after this. But yeah, appreciate it again. The new video, by the way, that I have on the YouTube Shorts today about the fourth kit. It was just like a little quick review by yours truly. It's like 11 seconds, but still got to get those view counts up. Appreciate you guys. And again, so again, anything pre-recorded lives on YouTube. If you missed some of the live, you can check the VODs on Twitch, or again, if you're subscribed to YouTube, you don't have to worry about any of that. You just go under live. You will see it there. Everything is sorted under Milan Podcast. So in case you were interested in past stuff, let us know. And then we're also going to try and do shorter videos that, some creators like to do. We did one on Benacer's contract extension and how great it was for that. We're going to try and do some more of that. But again, we thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys.
Again, see you.